Hello friends, this is Kelly Pullum. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Canada, and tonight I'm going to try sharing with you a paper pumpkin alternate card using the Sunshine and Smiles paper pumpkin kit. Now this is take 2, so I'm going to try to quickly go through the things that I was sharing in the first video, but unfortunately that one didn't seem to be working. So anyway, first of all, Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription kit, and I will add the link in the comments section when I'm finished here tonight. If you wish to subscribe, you need to subscribe by the 10th of the month for the kit that you wish. So the next one available would be April 10th, and you have to subscribe by April 10th for that kit. And then in each kit you get the materials needed to make either cards or other paper crafting projects, plus a stamp set, an ink spot, and all the embellishments that you need to make that product. Now tonight I'm doing an alternate card, which means that I'm varying it up a little bit, and I've added some additional materials. I'm using some basic white thick cardstock, basic white cardstock, a few Stampin' blends, Old Olive, Balmy Blue, Flirty Flamingo, and Daffodil Delight. And then I'm also adding in some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Hi Tiffany, you made it. Did you happen to see, was the first video recording it all? I tried. This is my second go round, so we'll see what happens here. I have no idea. This is just life these days, full of surprises. So I'm going to switch us over to the desktop here, and we shall see. Hopefully I have enough Wi-Fi strength to make a card with everybody. Okay, here we go. So now I have here, this is a part of one of the card bases from the Paper Pumpkin kit, and I cut it off. I've used this part of the card base for another card, and then this one is going to be used for the card today, in addition to my basic white thick card base. So I cut a full card base here for this one, and I'm going to adhere this piece onto the front of it with a little bit of liquid glue. Let's hope I remember to bring that over. I think I did not, so I guess if that's the case, I will use Stampin' Seal. Okay, let me switch here so I can see comments if they come in. There we go. There, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to just apply some adhesive here along the edge, trying to be neat so that I don't go over. And this is going to go along the top of the folded side of my card base. So now I have 3 pieces here. Okay, now I'm going to take the grass from the kit here, and it's going to go inside here across the front. So I'm just going to carry on with my seal here. This one is going to go right across from in here. I'm trying to nudge it up a bit with my thumb to make sure and I don't want it over so tight that it pushes things, pushes my card front there. And my snips here. So I'm just going to trim this extra off, like so. Now, that's why I have this little piece. Oh no, I see that blue circle again. And I don't know if you can see me or if I'm gone again. If you can see me, please leave a comment so that I know what's happening with the Wi-Fi. It seems to be really bad tonight. Nancy sees me. Okay, if that is the case, I'm going to carry on recording. If at some point you can't see me, do let me know. So this is from the Rain or Shine Designer Series paper. If I had cut carefully and had saved the bits from my card front, I wouldn't have needed this, but unfortunately I forgot to save those bits. So now I'm going to apply this inside here because I don't know if you can tell, but the whites are a different shade. So just to cover that up, I'm just going to put a little bit in here, kind of like a book binding. So I'm just going to apply some adhesive on there. I've got it coming over the edge a little and I don't really want that, so I'm trying to push it back on there. And this is going to go right here along the edge over the top. And then we can snip the excess off of there. Okay. Just a tiny bit of tape sticking out there. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to tuck one of these clouds inside here. I want it to be, oh, I put it too far over. Shoot, I bet it won't come up either because that's the Seal Plus. Oh, I'm going to be lucky. Yay! Okay, so yes, I need to move it over just a little bit. I got it too far. And that's what I didn't want. I didn't want it to push the fold so that it won't fold closed nicely. Let's try this now. Much better. Okay, so I want my little cloud to go inside here so that it's just going to show. So I'm going to put that in position. Stick a little adhesive on there, and there we go. So my cloud is just inside. Now I have my sun. I'm going to stamp with Mango Melody. The Mango Melody came in the kit. However, I'm going to go ahead and use my full-sized Mango Melody ink pad. Now one thing I've learned with this stamp, it's pretty solid image. So you want to make sure you don't have anything adhering to it, because when you go to use it, it tends to get a line on it or whatever. If you've got a speck of something, and I'm going to just pull in this little mat under here so that I can have a cushion and get a nice impression there. There we go. Then I need my little froggy. And my flowers. And the last thing I need is my sentiment. And I'm going to use the Wishing You Sunshine and Smiles. I did not put that. Look at how crooked that is. Okay, better use some grid paper for that one. There. Okay, so this one I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Oh, there's dog fur. Smudge that off of there. Okay. So my sentiment is going to go right here underneath the cloud. There we go, lovely. And then I need to stamp one set of flowers and 3 little frogs. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Now I'm going to color my frogs. I'm using Old Olive Light, and I'm going to just go around here, around the face. I'm not going to cover the belly. I'm going to leave that part white. And there we go. One little guy. Two little guys. Cute little froggy fingers and toes here. There are my froggies. Same color for my leaves on my flowers. And I'm going to have a little flirty flamingo here. And a little daffodil delight. I think I did that in the center here. Where did it go? Yes, no, I did it outside here. So this is the Daffodil Delight Dark blend. And then I've got my Balmy Blue. There we go. Now, put these aside. As an add-on to the Paper Pumpkin kit, this month you could get a set of dies that went with it. So I'm going to be able to cut out here my little froggies, as well as my flowers, using the add-on from this month's kit. So here are my dies. There were just the 2 of them, the flowers and the frog. And I've got a little washi tape here to hold things in place. Here's one. And 2. Through we go. And we need to cut the rest of our froggies. This is when I wished I had more than one set of dies. But I just have one froggy. There we are. And last but not least, you might notice me adjusting the plates as I put these through. The lower plate, number 1, is further forward. The second plate, my cutting plate number 2, is a little bit further back. And then my third plate, also a number 2, is a little further forward so that they go nice and smoothly through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is only necessary with the mini. The larger machine doesn't seem to require that little adjustment, just the mini does. Okay, so now we're going to take our flowers here, and I'm going to tuck them in here on top of the grass. And I think the easiest way is with a glue dot. So just grab my take your pick tool. And put a few glue dots here on the back. I think 2's probably enough actually. So I'm just going to tuck them in here. And then I'm going to take my little froggos, and they are going to stand on one another's heads. So I'm going to start with the bottom fella. I'm going to line him up just inside here. Then goes froggy number 2. And here's froggy number 3. I thought they looked super cute, standing on top of one another that way. Alright, so this is the card front except for one piece. I have this sun, which is going to go on the front, and I'm going to just fussy cut this out, and it's not very hard to fussy cut the sun. It's just an in and out here. So just trying to check something here. Give me a moment, it's not going to where I want it to. Okay, that's not going to do for me. We'll try this one more time. Okay, I'm getting a message here, and I was worried that it was telling me that my thing isn't working, but it seems to be working. Except now I'm lost. I don't have a video page here. Oh no. there I am. So let's just see if I'm still doing. Oh my goodness, Kelly. Yep. Life is just too complicated for me these days. I just can't keep it all straight. You can still see me, Nancy. Thank you. Bless you. Oh boy. Because my little blue circle just keeps going round and round and round. So, makes you really wonder. Anyway, here we are. Okay, so the little sun, I wish there had been a die for it, but there wasn't. And you know what, that's okay, because it's really not that difficult to just cut around the outside of it. And I'm not even being that careful. The thing is, I find if you're putting a white piece on a white background, even if it's not perfectly cut out, it doesn't really matter terribly. So life's too short to worry about it, right? I saw something on Facebook today where they were talking about, you know, life's too short to hold a grudge, life's too short to hold on to bitterness and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so now I've got my little sun here. I'm going to just add some glue dots to put it on the front. And that is going there. Perfect. So that is the front, the outside of the card. Then I'm going to open it up to the next level. And you can see inside the same thing except without the window. And then I turn one more here and we're going to add inside just these little flowers from the kit. Along the bottom, and another little cloud on top. And I just like to have a good space for writing a message. So there we go. That's what we've got here. So we've got our lovely Mango Melody card, or envelopes rather, that go with this card base. So I think that turned out to be super cute. I love my little froggies. And I have one more card to share with you next week using this paper pumpkin kit, and it's a shaker card. So I hope you'll join me for that one. And that will be the end of my paper pumpkin videos. And I honestly haven't even decided yet what April's videos are going to be. So we'll have to wait and see. It'll be a surprise, but that is coming up as well. So take care, friends. Thanks for joining me tonight. And if you're watching the video later, be sure and leave your name so that I know you've watched. I love to hear from you. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye, folks.